So it's just that. So going to the next thing, it's Khabib retiring, man.
I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah. Do you think he'll ever come back?
Ah, man, he's 29-0 now. And when you jump to like 10-0, 20-0, 30-0, there's something about those numbers that are psychologically satisfying, right?
Yeah.
And for him to be like, oh, I could get my 30th victory. To be 30-0, there's something almost poetic about it,
Oh, for sure.
You see that in sports all the time. Like Mayweather, he came back and fought Conor McGregor for his 50th win.
That's
right?
it.
And
easy win.
But at the same time, you got a guy like Khabib who's not much of a showman. He's not like a Conor McGregor. He's not like a Floyd Mayweather where it's like, well, I'm gonna do this for a show. I'm gonna trash talk and I'm gonna sell this fight or whatnot. He fights for a completely different reason.
Yeah, he's actually against that shit.
And he's exactly right. And he's so disciplined. His integrity is through the roof. He's a man of his word, man. And the fact that he doesn't have his father
Honor,
with him,
loyalty, yeah.
Exactly. Like he lives by a certain code that a lot of Americans or North American, like Westerners, just to say, like that they don't live by. Like
that's it.
He lives by something completely different, and
he's not money motivated or
not at all, man. And he said, he's a guy who still lives at home. Like he doesn't, and he had a conversation. And to him, family and religion and it's something so important to him that I don't see him going against his word. I would actually be very surprised to see him come back after what he said and all the emotion that he put in. Like you just see it.
I will say that there's one thing that can bring him back because he said it multiple times, and even though he said, I don't want to fight because his father's no longer with him to coach him in his corner and he promised his mom, I think the Georges St-Pierre fight could bring him back because he's been wanting that. And to get that 30-0, I think this maybe will bring him back. But
that's tricky. But
that's just it. Like anything, he smashed pretty much everybody. The only fight that he hasn't done is Tony Ferguson, and pretty much Tony Ferguson's team, last time I heard, they're saying that fight is jinxed, so they don't want to deal with anything Tony versus Khabib. It's jinxed.
Tony's going to have to sit down for a bit, man. Yeah, he's definitely going to have to sit down.
Well, he got pretty badly.
He's out of the conversation for now, but...
oh, no, he'll be back.
He'll be back, but I mean, he won't be the same. He definitely won't be the same.
That's to be seen. I can see what you're saying, but it's to be seen. It's definitely to be seen.
See how much damage he took, man?
But sometimes guys, they come back pretty... I definitely understand what you're saying, but sometimes guys can come back from that, but sometimes, they come back pretty rough.
Yeah, and the thing about the Georges St-Pierre and Khabib fight, like, the thing is, father time, the clock's ticking.
Yeah.
The clock's ticking.
For both of them, man.
Now, like, obviously, Khabib is still grieving the loss of his father, and we don't know, everybody grieves differently. Like, I can't judge another man on how long it takes him to grieve, but then you also have Georges St-Pierre, who's 39 years old, who's also older, and, like, not only that, weight cutting to him, it's getting harder as the years go on. Like, we can already see how...
I don't think he can do 155.
I don't think so either. So Khabib would have to meet him at 170 maybe.
And I'm not even sure he'll want to do that.
Exactly, because Georges St-Pierre right now is probably at 185.
His cut was apparently very difficult for Khabib.
Absolutely.
Apparently they were saying, like, I don't know exactly, but there was all this stuff online saying that he may have cheated, that it was sketchy. It was controversial weight.
Think about it this way, okay? We're both the same height as Justin Gaethje and Khabib. Could you see us going down to 155? You know how hard that would be for anybody. That would be hard, especially at our age. But after 30, it's so hard to start losing weight that way, and unhealthy. So I mean, they would have to meet each other in the middle.
But we're not professional athletes.
We're not professional athletes. But let's say even if we were.
If we were, it would still be pretty difficult.
Exactly, man. So it's not just physically, but psychologically, man.
Oh,
to get back to a certain level, after you left for a while, it's psychologically it's draining, man. I don't ever see the Georges St-Pierre fight happening.
No. So you think this is Khabib's last fight? Done.
Honestly, I think so. I think so. I may be wrong. I
think he'll be back. For one more fight, I think he'll be back.
A super fight.
A super fight. Maybe another fight that'll. But he's not money motivated.
But okay. But
maybe the only thing I could see him coming back for is legacy. That's the only thing. Legacy.
Legacy?
Yeah.
Does he even fight for legacy though? But he did mention being 30-0 during the press conference.
He was talking about wanting to be 30-0. He was talking about Georges St-Pierre. That's the fight he keeps bringing up.
Honestly, I could see him coming back within. Okay, if he does come back, it won't be soon. It won't be soon.
Yeah. Not for a while.
Which brings me to the
maybe
next.
A year, maybe.
Maybe a year?
Yeah, I'd say a year.
Even that's too soon, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because we're also in a pandemic, right? We're also in a pandemic. I'm pretty sure that, with him losing his father to COVID, he wants to be close to home with his loved ones. Just live a regular life until this whole thing blows over.
Still mourning.
And he's still mourning on top of that. And Georges St-Pierre, man, like next May 19th, I believe his birthday is, 1981, he's going to be 40 next year. Who's really going to want to see that?
He's a talk show host in Quebec now, huh?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Him, Patrick Cote.
Oh, yeah?
Cote, is it? The Predator Cote.
Yeah.
What's it called? Some other dude. No disrespect, I just don't know his name.
Okay, that brings me to the next topic.
He's moved on. I'd say he's got 2 feet out the door, completely not really into sports. If he comes back, like when he was already coming back, it was just kind of like a money thing.
Bisping gave him a run for his money. Like you saw him, he was badly cut against Bisping.
That's it.
Bisping was washed.
No disrespect.
I don't care.
Bisping was a G back in the day. But
I do not care. He was washed at that point, and that's it.
Damn.
Yeah, there's no ifs. You're washed as a professional athlete, but you're not washed as a human being. Like, you are stronger than the average person in the world. You're not washed in general, but
you're no longer competing at that super elite level.
Exactly. So you're washed.
Body
from a fan to a professional, I can tell you are washed. Like, if someone of my caliber, look at me, I'm out of shape. If I can tell you you're washed, you're washed. I'm sorry. I know, but if I can tell you you're washed, you're washed. Like, get out of here. You're washed. Okay, and he's aged.
Okay, he's aged.
He's washed.
Out of the sport, he's taken a lot of damage.
Washed. Okay, brings me to the next topic. Okay, so with Khabib gone, it opens up the division.
Mm-hmm.
What's next? And where do you think Gaethje goes from here?
This is the crazy part, is that we didn't even talk about this before, but you're talking about Dustin Poirer versus Conor McGregor. Gaethje just coming off of a loss from Khabib, but he put on a masterclass. Even then, he was doing the same thing that he did to Tony Ferguson. But now there's Michael Chandler in the mix. There's Michael Chandler in the mix. And who knows who's going to come up the rankings and start, you know what I mean? Tony Ferguson, is Tony Ferguson, I forgot to mention.
Let's see.
Like, who knows what's going to happen at this point? Who's going to fight who wants to fight who, what's going to happen? You know what I mean?
Yep.
The hubbub that follows, the craziness that follows Conor McGregor everywhere, you know? And as well, like, what happens when Conor McGregor, if he loses to Dustin Poirer?
And yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, Michael Chandler's still in his prime.
That's it. Actually, we're already at 21 minutes, so that's pretty much it. I told you this would go really fast, bro.
That goes pretty fast, man. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, for sure.
That's it.
I don't know, but it's interesting, right?
That's it. So thank you for joining us. This is one of many. Maybe we'll add on some more to that. You know, we'll edit it in there. But
for sure,
it's been a pleasure. Once again, Cristo Desir, CJ,
Danny. Just Danny.
Supermodel. Supermodel attitude. Bougie.
Oh,
Thank you.
we're out, man.
Peace.